Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to Archer+Alex. My name is Alex, I am the owner and lead soap maker here, and today we are back with the second ready-to-wash soap, a part of our Y2Gay collection. So I wanted to do something kind of bright, something kind of fun and funky for this soap. I think you're really going to enjoy the colors that were selected, the fragrance that was selected, and the overall design, and I can't wait for you guys to join in on the fun. Are you starting to figure out what some of these products are referencing yet? We're gonna get into it. So if you wanna see how I create this soap, make sure you keep on watching and we're going to get right into it. Count it. Second, ready to wash soap for the Y2Gay soap collection. So this soap is once again a part of our spicy section of the collection. We are using a little secret fragrance blend. It smells really good. It's very citrus forward with notes of leather, notes of wood. You have some really kind of interesting fresh elements to it as well. So I will make sure to put those fragrance notes down below. That way you can kind of follow along and see if this is a soap that will be for you. In this bucket, I have our white archer+Alex ready to wash soap base. So this has really great ingredients, including shea butter in it, and we're using coconut-based surfactants. And this has titanium dioxide pre-suspended in it, which is great because I think some of the fragrance notes of this soap will want to kind of darken the soap overall. So starting off with a nice, like, bright white base is a great start for us. So actively, we are at 179 degrees. So we need this to come down a considerable amount because we're going to be swirling these colors together. And our colors today are going to be Trial by Fire by Nurture Crafting, I think they are now, Nurture Soap. And then we're going to be using the bright yellow rain jacket. And since I'm almost out of that, I'm going to be using my last little bit of citrine yellow liquid crystal dye by our friends over at Brambleberry. So we'll need just a skosh of this, but it'll be a really great palette for us to be able to add this orange onto and get it to that nice, like, vivid bright neon that we are looking for. So what I'm gonna do now is, since we're kind of waiting for this to cool down a bit, I'm gonna go ahead and add in our fragrance oil blend. That will allow the soap to start cooling down considerably. One thing you want to be careful of when you're doing any sort of melt and pour, glycerin, crystal soap, diamond soap, whatever you want to call it, is flash points. So your flash point is the temperature of which your fragrance will start to do just that, flash off. So it'll start to ghost. You'll have a lot of the fragrance just up and disappear. And it's not that girl. Let me tell you, I've had it happen before, and it sucks to love a fragrance so much, and when you go to cut the bar, unmold the bars, all of that stuff, to have it completely disappear on you. So I'm gonna make sure all of this gets in there because we are not wasting at all. And I'm just going to mix to make sure that all of that fragrance gets bound to our soap base. It smells so good. Like, when I was designing this fragrance, I took reference from another brand and a fragrance that they did, and I've smelled the original and I wanted to do this but better. So when I announce what the name of this soap is, y'all are going to like flip your lid, and I'm so here for it. But we're getting so close to doing that. So what I'm gonna do now is we have our second bowl here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to pour off some of this soap into our other bowl. So this is going to do a couple things for us. It's going to help cool down our soap just a little bit faster. But it also gets us into our bowls, so we're not having to hopefully make a bunch more mess and spill it everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my paper towel. At least a good thing about this soap is that it's not caustic. So whereas with my artisan soaps and my sea salt soaps and everything, cold processed soaps rather, you have to worry about, you know, chemical burns and disfiguring yourself with caustic soap base and soap batter. This, you don't really have that pressure, so. All right. So taking inventory of what we have, this bowl has slightly more in it. So I want this to be our yellow bowl. I want there to be a little bit more yellow than red. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take our citrine yellow liquid dye, and you don't need very much. So like just that little drop, we're just about where I want to be, right? And then I'm going to take our bright yellow rain jacket and pour that in. And we're going to mix this in by hand. So normally I would use isopropyl alcohol for these, but I've been noticing in my formulation for our ready to wash soaps that the isopropyl alcohol actually starts to break down a couple of the ingredients that I have in here. So you start to get more things like glycerin, sweats, and things like that, and I don't want that. So we're just going to be patient. We're working a little bit warmer than I would like to. But that's allowing us to get our micas fully incorporated. I mean, if you're part of queer culture, you're gonna know what this is just based off the color. Because I'm an absolute menace. So we're gonna add in our trial by fire. I'm not gonna add in all of it to start off. I wanna kind of take stock of where we are. That way we're not putting in way too much color if we don't need to. Because, my heavens, I wouldn't want y'all to use this bar in the soap and have it like bleed red everywhere. It's looking like we're going to need more red, so. We're just gonna add all of it in anyway. And this isn't much, this is like 2.5 tablespoons of mica. Which if I was thinking, I would have probably went ahead and did like the clear ready to wash soap base with this one. I just got in a bunch of it. So it would have been no problem whatsoever. Give these a nice stir. That's really great. I like that. I could live with that. And the clear soap base, this would have been like crimson red. We're kind of sitting at a nice like pastel red, but they're in similar tonalities. So that's really what I'm looking for this. And then let me go ahead and ditch those for now. I am going to have to spritz these on top with isopropyl alcohol. So let me fill up my spray bottle real quick, because the bubbles are getting a little wild. Which also tends to happen with glycerin soap if you are soaping hot, kind of like I am. My base is a custom base, so I have a little bit more freedom and leeway with it. Beautiful. Alright, so let's keep mixing. I'm getting ready to do a temp check. We're at essentially 154. I would like this to get down into like the 125, 120 range because I want good, like distinct swirls, but I don't want it to be creating a skin on us. So that's when the soap starts to solidify and we start to get that thick like skin of soap on top, which I mean it happens. If we need to, I just nuke it for a second or two and just do short burst in the microwave just to make sure that we're staying cool enough that we get nice swirls out of this, but also like cool enough that we're not scorching the fragrance oil or the mica, but also staying warm enough that we're actually incorporating the soap back into itself. But if you're looking for really great swirls, I would say pour your soap at about, maybe like 120, 125 if you can. Stir it well, but also try not to get a lot of air bubbles in it. You can of course knock down air bubbles with isopropyl alcohol, your rubbing alcohol. I can show you a couple examples. So this is hoochie, so this was poured at that like sweet spot so you get the nice definitive swirls on it. And then you have Karma, which was poured a little warmer. So you got one color kind of pooled at the bottom, and then you have more of a like mottled swirl throughout the bar. Which there is no wrong way to do it. It's just really what you're looking for. And what you're trying to achieve ultimately. All right. We are at 140 there, 135 there. We're gonna kind of let these sit over on the side for a second. That way we can get our mold ready. So I'm going to be doing a couple different soaping techniques with this. So we're going to put a layer of our red on the bottom. And then we're going to kind of do a drop swirl-esque situation with our yellow. And then we're going to kind of just go back and forth between the two colors. And get them really swirled in and incorporated together. All right, so we're back. This is in the mold now. I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it with our isopropyl alcohol. So for whatever reason, I have a bad battery and then I have a battery that wasn't charged. So we have one now. So what I ended up doing is we got all of our yellow put in and then we got all of our red put in, as you can see, or as much as I could. If you get to this point with your glycerin soap and you heat it up at this point, this is literally just going to burn and melt if you're in a plastic bowl like this. So we're not even going to tempt that fate. And then I poured this top layer hot for a couple reasons, because as you can see, our yellow is starting to kind of peek through for us. Let me zoom in our camera. So you can see that, wrong way. Reverse, Alex, reverse. You can see this yellow starting to peek through, which is exactly what I wanted. And I'm just going to mist this top a couple more times just to make sure that all those air bubbles are dealt with, that we're not gonna have any big weird pockets. But that's making sure that this red and this yellow is going to kind of like mix together in a beautiful swirl, and I can't wait for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover this, and then we will be back in probably tomorrow, so about 24 hours, to cut this soap up. And then we will be moving on to our third and final ready to wash soap for the Y2Gay Secret Soap series. Okay, so we are back the next morning. You know how it goes here. And we are going to unmold this soap and cut it into bars. So let's go ahead and turn it out of the loaf. I'm already seeing some like really fun, cool, interesting things on the side. So let's go ahead and peel this back. Yes. I'm also sorry if you can hear mowing in the background. The gardeners are out right now. They're mowing all the green space in between like my courtyard and the condo across the courtyard. Oh my God. Look how stunning this color is. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our little single bar cutter. What I'm gonna do is I am going to cut off our first bar so we can get a peek at how this soap turned out. That's stunning. That is exactly what I was looking for. It smells incredible too, so you can definitely get those leather notes. You're definitely getting that note of citrus. There's some like really nice woody notes to this as well. If you haven't been able to guess what this soap is called just by the colors, I don't know what to tell you, but it is everything that I wanted. Let's see if I can get a nice clean cut out of this one. Yes, I did. Perfect. So out of this batch, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Beautiful. And then one piece that we will use as the sample for market. I'm so excited. And grab a couple bars. But this is how our second ready to wash soap for the Y2Gay series turned out. I'm going to kick this over to Alex in the studio. We're going to wrap up this video and we will see you in our last soap video for the Y2Gay series. All right, and that is how we made Secret Ready to Wash Soap number 2. So here is a closer look at it with it cut. You can see how stunning that swirl turned out. I'm unbelievably happy with how the soap turned out. It smells incredible. What do you think it is? I think the color palette's pretty obvious if you're, within the know. I can't wait to have this bar into people's hands and be like, you know what? Alex got it. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. I work really hard on creating these videos. They're so much fun to make. Make sure you join the Brat Pack by clicking that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every single time that we post a video. We've got one more ready to wash soap queued up for the Y2Gay series. So make sure you keep on watching. I can't wait to see everybody until next time. And stay safe, stay happy, and toodles!